what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a question that has been burning on my mind for a while now, following the release of the last manga chapter, which is now that we know that Shikamaru has taken the position of the Hokage under a condition. What will he do now that the 3-year time limit he's asked for has been reached and he's been granted a small extension? And could he be forced to officially become the 8th Hokage of the village? Well, in today's Naruto Explain video, we're going to take a look at just that and why this is a bigger question than I've seen more people actually asking. When we open up Boruto 2 Blue Vortex in the time skip with Shikamaru being called Lord 8th and he was wearing the Hokage cloak, everyone got hit with the shock factor. Wait, hold on a second. What's happening here? There were jokes that Konoha had just signed their own warrant to be destroyed in the future because Shikamaru was a Hokage. This is easily the weakest Hokage ever. That's what everyone was saying, and while it was certainly funny, while it might have been untrue, it was definitely something funny. There was something I noticed when reading the chapter that I chose not to raise in the review for chapter 1, partially because of the fact that I was trying to get the review out early and I was being conscious of the budget that I was spending on the chapter review itself, but also because I thought it might be something as simple as an error for one of Ikimoto's assistants who helped him draw on the manga, which despite what people tell you on social media, Ikimoto has 3 assistants helping him. Anyone still saying that nonsense from 2017 needs to update their information. Video coming soon. In chapter 1, page 3 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, when you look at Shikamaru as he's sitting in the chair, the back of the Hokage jacket, it is shown, but the lettering was missing on the jacket. When we got the chapter, I started to raise that point, but I went, well, this could be what we've seen in the past with Naruto's IP, where Kishimoto forgot to draw Kakashi's Sharingan on the correct eye in one of the chapters because one of his assistants messed up and didn't correct it, and the same thing with Hokage Minato being drawn on the Hokage monument behind Kid Obito in one of the weekly chapters of Naruto, which wouldn't have happened because when Obito was a part of Team Minato, Minato wasn't Hokage. I figured, hey, this is just a mistake and it'll be corrected in the physical volume, and I want to reserve judgment for when the physical volume actually dropped, which as of this video being recorded, volume 1 should be coming out in a few days. But lo and behold, we learn in chapter 6 that Shikamaru was the one who specifically asked for a 3-year wait period before having the official ceremony to be Hokage, which means that this was something intentional. Right now, Shikamaru is no different than Danzo. Like Danzo, Shikamaru was named Hokage by the feudal lord, and that gives you the powers and authority of the Hokage. If you wanted to declare March 1st, it's going to be Konoha Ramen Day. Everyone eats ramen for 4 meals a day. Then it's Konoha Ramen Day because you have the authority as Hokage. Similar to how Danzo, as his first action as Hokage, was to have Sasuke branded a rogue ninja and have a kill order sent out. However, it's not made official until you have the formality vote of the Jonin Council and you have the public ceremony in front of the people of the village itself. No different than what we'll have here in America. One of the 2 old geezers who are going to be in their 80s at the end of the next term will be named president-elect. Then they become officially president in January 2025 unless some brave soul runs as a third party and saves us from either one of those nightmare scenarios. Small rant over. If you can't tell, I don't like either one of them MFers. Shikamaru is like Danzo. Neither has had a ceremony yet to make it official. In the last chapter, we see the elders pushing him to finish the process and become Hokage, but now there is information that has come to light. Shikamaru now knows that his memories and the memories of everyone in the village, except for those who are immune to omnipotence, they've all been altered. And he's been forced to reconsider everything that Sarada has told him during the 3-year time skip, which is that they've all been lied to. And they need to rescind the kill order on Boruto and allow him to explain what happened. Shikamaru heard that and said, yo girl, you crazy. That ain't happening. However, now he knows, wait a second, Sarada might been cooking. Shikamaru has to consider the possibility that Naruto is indeed alive. Somewhere the audience is going, well, of course he's alive. Where was the body? And that means to consider the possibility that Kawaki, the second strongest person in the village, he's lied to him. That means that Ada, the person who can see and hear everything with her Rinnegan, is lying for Kawaki and siding with them. That means that Damon, the strongest person in the village, is gonna fall in line as well, because where Ada goes, Damon goes as well, unless you got Juice Box and Crackers and Paw Patrol. Shikamaru, the guy who prides himself on that 200 IQ of his and is currently tasked with protecting the village, knows that he is potentially in a situation where he has several live bombs that are set to go off in a chain reaction if he isn't careful. And he doesn't have much room for error right now, because all of his cards he has to play them extremely careful during the events moving forward. He won't be able to call out the manhunt for Boruto, because if it's like the elders told him, the will of the village of the land of fire is to see Boruto killed for Naruto's murder. No trial, no nothing, catch him and kill him. The other Kage, they want Boruto's head as well. It goes back to what I told you. Killing Naruto is not just killing a Hokage, it's not just killing a Kage. It is literally killing hope itself, because of what Naruto represents. Shikamaru is in a very tough spot right now. I would not want to be Shikamaru, because if he tries to tell the elders that Naruto's alive and that he's been sealed away in a dimension that Kawaki controls, those old geezers are still in possession of that hawkish mentality that led to Hiruzen starting 2 ninja wars. And that led to Danzo saying, hey, it's time to smoke that Uchiha clan pack. Itachi, go ahead and kill your clan. Right now, Shikamaru is trying to find out the answers to the questions that Sarada told him that he needed to ask about Boruto. Boruto is currently getting involved in a dispute with Mitsuki, which ends up with Orochimaru's clone getting a Rasengan shoved up his ass while Boruto says, what sage mode is that? He's trying to gather all the info he can, and he's eventually going to learn Kawaki is the one who sealed away Naruto, and that he's been lied to this entire time, and his actions are showing us that Shikamaru has considered this possibility, because he's instructed Ino to not record their conversation or make Ada and Kawaki aware of it. He's already thinking the worst possible scenario. However, he's in a bind right now. If he's already getting that pressure to become Hokage officially, he's going to be forced to explain himself. Maybe he can use the threat of the evolved Shinju as an excuse to push back the Hokage ceremony itself, but there are holes in that line of thinking that those 2 elders, they're going to be able to poke through very quickly. Maybe not quickly, because they are old as hell, and they look like they can't necessarily see too well. However, here's the thing. Tobirama literally became 2nd Hokage during the first Great Ninja War. After Hashirama died, Tobirama became Hokage. Hiruzen then became Hokage during that exact same war, because Tobirama died as well. Minato became the Hokage when the fighting between the Stone Village and the Leaf Village had ceased. But here's the thing, there was also still open tension between the Leaf Village and the Cloud Village, because they wouldn't enter into an agree to stop fighting until the Hyuga incident happened a few years ago. There have been those who have stepped into the Hokage position during times of war and during times of open conflict. How is this conflict any different? And wouldn't having the stability of the village being strengthened by honor and tradition be something that gives a greater sense of comfort to those who are in the village during this time of pending chaos? Shikamaru is a really smart guy, and he's shown that he's got that silver tongue of a talented politician, which, as someone who has worked for a couple of politicians in the past, I can say that with confidence. But it's going to be very interesting to see how he talks his way out of those questions without overplaying his hand too much. Now, let me be very clear here. I don't doubt Shikamaru can play this off. I really don't doubt it. Shikamaru is the one guy in the Naruto franchise I don't bet against. And we know that to a degree, he is successful, because by the time that the village is destroyed by the Boruto versus Kawaki fight, there isn't a Shikamaru face on the stone Hokage monument. Not unless Kawaki walks up to it and shrinks it and says, I don't acknowledge you as Hokage. That didn't happen. So there is something to that. He's going to be successful in his endeavor. We don't know how much time has actually elapsed since him asking the elders to give him more time and the events of that Boruto versus Kawaki fight, but we'll see what twists and turns you have waiting for you. I don't see Shikamaru letting Kawaki actually know that he knows the truth, or even letting Ada know, because once he learns from Boruto that both Naruto and Hinata are sealed away in a dimension that only Kawaki can access, but also that Sasuke's been turned into a tree, Shikamaru is going to look at that shogi board and he's going to see a diminishing set of options actually available to him. And the last thing he can do is afford to do something that makes Kawaki go nuclear, or even worse, makes him flee the village, because if he loses Kawaki, he loses Naruto. I do think it is very interesting that it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy on a few different levels with Shikamaru right now. with where he is at this current moment. I discussed it in my why Shikamaru was always going to be Hokage video, but Asuma did say that Shikamaru had what it took to be Hokage, but he wouldn't want to take the job because it's too much hassle and it's too much work. And lo and behold, we see Shikamaru smoking in the Hokage office, and the more information he's learning surrounding Naruto's supposed death, the more stressed out he's getting, which is exactly why he never wanted the job in the first place, and yet he's doing a good job at it. Just as Tamari, the daughter of a Kage and the sister of a Kage, once said that Shikamaru would do. Shikamaru, by not formally being Hokage when Naruto does get unsealed, it's going to be poetic and it's going to be an ironic situation, a humorous situation, when he gives the position back to Naruto, which to see why that is, you'll need to click on my why Shikamaru was destined to be Hokage video you see on the screen right now.